It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, they have 1,500 visits a week, and they're thriving like you cannot believe it. It's such a great asset to the greater Hazleton area, and for that matter, northeastern Pennsylvania. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Hazleton Integration Project, okay? And remember, folks, when we talked about this project way back, not way back, maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago, what the project was all about. At that time, we had a couple people that were a little leery about the project. Now, it is just a blessing for us in the greater Hazleton area. My guest today, Bob Curry, who is the president of the board, and Eugene Sosa. Of course, you all know Eugene, who is the executive director. Eugene, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Buono Natale. I don't know it in Gaelic, but I know it in Italian. Merry Christmas, okay?
Grazie.
Nice to have the both of you on the show, and it's always good to around the holidays, Christmas time, it's good to share some great news, Bob. For those people that are not familiar with the Hazleton Integration Project, explain what the concept was, why it was developed, and that it wasn't only for Hispanics.
Oh, sure. Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you for having us again. It's always a pleasure to have to come here and to try to get our message out to as wide an audience as possible, and we know this is the way to do it.
Thank you.
So, first of all, yeah, we had a really interesting beginning to the Hazleton Integration Project. It's an oft-told story. Joe Madden and his wife Jay and Elaine and I actually sat down over dinner one night. Joe had been in town. He just didn't like the kind of feeling he was getting. He described the city as dull and sort of inactive, and there was a lot of fear and miscommunication. And this was in 2010, so this is not exactly ancient history. And we came up with ideas. Joe was really upset by what he was seeing, and everybody knows that Joe loves the city of Hazleton. There's not a time that he doesn't speak so highly of this community, and he wants it to be everything it was when he was a kid. So he pledged at that time, he and his wife pledged to do whatever they could if Elaine and I would also get on board and see what we could do. And we settled on a community center at that point, and we came up with some titles and some names, and we formed a board. And our basic idea was, hey, let's get this community together, because this community can be extraordinary. And we're seeing the first steps of that happen right now after only 6 months. But we get everybody together, mostly the children. Everybody kind of rubs elbows, plays together, learns together now. We have that educational component. And we've been able, we feel, to get off to a wonderful start. And I thank you for all your kind words about the project, but you've been there.
Yeah, I've been
there. And I'd like to welcome anybody who hasn't been there. Walk in the door, because it is an extraordinary project.
And so at the time, first of all, we stressed this many times, this is a non-political situation, okay? This is not a political situation where, it's the, the Maddens and the, the Currys, and it's not a political thing, okay? And we got to get that up front. It's not political. This is for everybody, okay? And you've stressed that so many times, Bob, right?
And I can't stress it enough, because what we would like people to say or remember is that our middle name is integration. It is not for one group or another group, and it's absolutely true. The other part that you bring up is non-political. If you would see my board of directors, I can tell you that that board of directors is split down the middle politically. And actually, the Madden family is split down the middle politically. We have nothing to do with politics. It just has to do with seeing what needs to be done and getting it done. And some people look at it in economic terms, and some people look at it in social terms, but however you look at it, it makes the most sense. When we're together, this community is going to take off.
Eugene, one of the things we talked about in your involvement here, et cetera, is first of all, you live in the city. You've been here for a while. The communication, all right, that's what we're all about. We communicate, okay? And when someone's ignorant of something, that's a problem, because they're ignorant as to what's going on. We have that in the city of Hazleton, okay? We have some naysayers who downtown will never survive. We can't do that. We have to be positive about what we have. We live here, okay? We live here. Talking about the kids, okay, and how did you get involved with this and what you're doing up there?
Well, thank you again for having me here, and it's an honor to speak about this wonderful result that we're getting from the Hazleton Community Center, because we have the opportunity to have kids for all age, and this is what will make us happier. Because when you see a kid from 3 years and a half, and you see an adult from 70 years and older, taking classes, especially in the academic field, it makes us what we call a functional stress, because we have a positive result of what we're looking for. So in this community center, we have the opportunity to welcome everybody, all nationality. Every time that I say, Bob, but we have Chinese, the last time that we mentioned, but now we have Arabic, so we have Persian. So we have different countries that they smile as well as us when they feel that they have a place in which they can learn. Just want to mention, we have Rosetta Stone, and they have like 7 languages. They have it in Chinese. I mean, they have the instruction in Chinese. And there was one lady said, oh no, let me know if they have in Arabic. I said, let's check. Yeah. And unfortunately, they don't have it. But I know very soon the Rosetta Stone company will include it, because it's a need to learn a language.
You know what I really love about this whole project is the fact that when I see the word integration, and I see these kids, okay, from all ages, and no prejudices. They work together, and so, it reminds me when I was growing up in parties. Well, I've said this before. I grew up with the Slavic people, the Polish people, the Italians. There wasn't that many Irishmen there, but I mean, and we played together. One night we're eating pierogies, they're eating spaghetti. It was we all played together and worked together, and as a result, the families all participated. There was no prejudice. And I think that's the greatest thing that the young children are learning. When you think so, Bob?
I absolutely agree. It's well known that children do not have prejudices. Yeah. They need to be taught prejudices. And if our community can't do a better job of breaking down those barriers, we'll all stay apart. And everybody knows that if you're apart, you're not going to succeed. But once you get together, you can do magic. And we believe that these are the first steps that we're taking as a community, or certainly not the first, and there are other organizations doing great work as well. But we know that we've turned the corner, and one of the reasons that we can say that is outside our area, we've had a tremendous amount of interest in the Hazleton One Community Center. There is a film crew from Citizen Film coming up here for our events. This is their second visit to Hazleton and their second interview with Joe Madden. And what they're looking at our area, now you think about this and the way it used to be, and yet now we're in an area that they're looking has reached a tipping point for immigration. And they're saying, here's an area that's starting to really understand that the strengths of integration is far stronger than if people are staying separate. So we reached the tipping point. We're embracing it as a positive now rather than as a negative.
And as the word gets out and people begin to see this, and here again, the prejudice sometimes, I have a lot of political people on my show, as you know, okay? And there's this separation where you have the illegal immigration versus the legal immigration, okay? Where you have the abuse of maybe the fraud of access cards, etc. That's a whole different ball game, Bob. Okay, you can't throw everything into the mix. Okay,
absolutely.
And that's what happens. People, well, but it's a whole different perspective. We're talking about the positive things. Am I correct, Eugene?
I just want to add, even though Bob say 1,500 per week, I think it's more, because right now we're running the SAT class for the high school student, and they're here Saturday and Sunday. And you can see, wondering that this center is open 7 days a week, depending on the need of the community looking for. And that's the reason when we say a number is because we can prove it, but at the same time we're doing more than that.
And the results are showing. Folks, if you just tuned in, I'm talking to Bob Curry, who's the president of the H.I.P, which they call it, which is the Hazleton Integration Project, and Eugene Sosa, who is the executive director. Now, this show is, as you know, runs for a full week, and we're starting it today. But if you're around tomorrow, which is Saturday, December 14th, at 10 a.m. to noon at the Hazleton One Community Center at 225 East 4th Street, they're having a free breakfast with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Please put a good word in for Santa Claus for me, okay, Bob?
We'll give it a run.
That's Saturday, December 14th. Now, I know this is running for a full week, but if you're watching this, just Do they have to just show up, or what do they do?
Well, at this point, because it's getting kind of late, I think they can just show up. I would like to make a point. We're looking for mostly economically disadvantaged children, and that's our idea. And what we're going to provide is not only a hot meal, but every kid that walks through that door will get a toy. They'll leave with a toy. And besides a toy and the hot meal, each one will leave with a knit scarf and a knit hat as well. So.
And listen, don't be shy, folks, okay? Don't be shy. If just, it's wonderful for the kids. I know we have a lot of proud people in the community, and sometimes they feel that, but let me tell you, don't be proud. Bring your child there if, they need it. It'll be a great opportunity for them to see Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, and have a little breakfast and leave with a toy. I think that's a great thing. We come back, there's a lot more happening for those people. Again, what are they doing there? He mentioned 1,500 people a week, maybe more. We're going to talk about all the things that are happening. It's just mind-boggling to me. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Thank you so much, folks, for the tremendous emails I'm getting at sam@ssptv.com, and also our website, which is sam@ssptv.com. Remember, all of our shows, folks, are on the website 24/7. I know many of you say, I missed this show, I missed that show. You can watch them all, including the girls all around the town. Every show they produced, the 21 shows we produce. And once again, thank you. For the new viewers, folks, we have a lot more new viewers coming on. Service Electric Cablevision is expanding, as you know, and I want to welcome all you new viewers. I know many of you in Eagle Rock have been saying, boy, we're trying to get your program. Finally, you're starting to get them, and the people towards Shenandoah. We want to welcome all of you to the family. My guest today, Bob Curry. Bob is the president of the Hazleton Integration Project, okay? And we have Eugene Sosa, who is the executive director. We're talking about the great things we're having. So, Gene, going back to, you said there's 1,500 people. What are they doing?
Well, that's the great question, because...
And how come your hair isn't gray yet? That's what I want to know.
I think it's in the process.
Bob already went through that process.
No, but I'm very happy having those change their hair, because we're seeing, when we mention number, people want to know how that happened. We can mention the class that we have Play and Learn that start in the morning. So we have the after-school program that running Monday through Thursday. And we are very happy that CEO provide a hot meal. They are very happy. They come direct from school to the center, and they're very, very enjoying. Plus, we help them with the homework. So we have the ESL class, we have the computer class, and now we have PAL, the Police Athletic League, Monday through Thursday, which is a mix. Just seeing those kids different age playing basketball, that's amazing. I said it's a bless, because every time that I see a parents, the perception is changed, because they know that this place or this center is welcoming everybody in the different activity, especially in basketball or sport.
Okay, so I'm out here, okay, and what are the ages, okay? Like, I mean, people saying, well, all these things going on, how do I get involved, okay? Middle age or young kids, or, I mean, like, how do I get involved with this?
Right now, we say it's all age.
All age?
All age.
Okay, so if there's a person who is, let's say, 56 years old or 40s, that they want to get involved, what would be available for them?
Well, there was a lady, as I mentioned last time, that will be involved like in Zumba class. So maybe one would take a Spanish class. We're giving a Spanish class on Saturday, and we have like 12 students, and they are very happy. Every time they get out from the classroom, they say, buenos días, buenas tardes, ¿cómo está? That's amazing, because they learn it. We have those kids, as I mentioned at the beginning, 3 years and a half to 5 is a program called Play and Learn. So we have the after-school program, which is from 3rd grade to 8th grade. So we have all the ages. But the high school, we have a special program, engineering and design, with Dr. Gretzky from Penn State. And they're amazing how they, building robot and learning engineering and stuff. And also we have on Saturday what we call Reading Partner and our Homework Help, which is K to 2nd grade. So as you can see, we have ages for all. And the ESL class for adult, ESL class 14 for the high school who need to improve. So it's a lot that we have. Plus, we have partnered with Cub Scout and Girl Scout. So it's a lot.
You stop it. I'm getting tired here.
No. Plus, if you want to see, like in the Anglo part, we see the Crime Watch. Every month they meet there. It's amazing how the attendance is. Because at the beginning it was senior, but now they bring in their son, their grandson, and that's what we're looking for, a place that they can feel welcome, and we really care.
And you know, the interesting thing, Bob, when I grew up, again, I have to relate to when I grew up and played with the Polish people and the Slavish kids and etc. You went home, and at that time we had the good fortune of having dinner with the family.
Yeah.
I mean, and you'd be able to talk what happened today, etc. And and my parents, thank God, never had a prejudice. Okay, my grandfather, as I told you, was thrown out of a bank because he didn't speak English. Okay, and I think that was so heartbreaking to him. Go back to where you came from, the Italians. I watched on WVAA, my good friend Bill Kelly's station there. They had these different ethnic shows. They had one with the Irish and one with the Italians, okay? And I was watching the Italian one, and you look at when they came over, what they did. And what they did, they opened up Italian little stores in their neighborhoods. Like, you know, we remember, it was like nothing for us to go in all these different blocks. Bob had, you know, Angelo's this, or, you know, whatever, Petrucci's this. So same thing with the Hispanics doing the same thing. It's just you know, it's a blend here.
It's just the latest wave of immigration. And one of the things that both Joe and I say so often, and it just couldn't be more true, that the differences between us are so small and the similarities are so great. These people, the Hispanic people, they came to our city. Now, we are certainly not blind to crime. We are certainly not blind to the fact that there are bad eggs everywhere in every population. But 99% of these people came here for the exact same reasons that your grandparents, my grandparents came here. They want better lives for themselves. Particularly, they're very family-oriented people. They're very religious people. And they want better education system, and they want safety for their children. And who could argue with that?
You know, you talk about crime, okay? Going back again, when the kids come home and they played with all these different kids, right? They had no prejudice. If their parents or their relatives had it, they would say, "Wait a minute, Daddy or Mommy or Uncle. Wait, I think you're wrong. I play with little Eugene Sosa's kid, and we have a great time." And we were giving messages in the family, say these kids that are playing and have no prejudices, because, you know, and it's just a wonderful thing. I think it's just a great thing if we look at it being positive.
Well, that's what I think the whole idea of our project from its inception has been to create that same type of atmosphere, to understand that as we bring everybody together, we're all going to be better off. And if you start with the children, as you just mentioned, the kids take it home. Yeah. The parents may have their prejudices, but the kids can influence their parents. And this will happen naturally over the next 20 years. It's just, can we afford to lose another generation?
Nah.
I don't think so. Nah. What about those kids?
Yes.
Of both of the Anglo kids as well as the Hispanic kids, can we afford to lose that whole generation with that kind of small, narrow-minded thinking? We don't think so.
And I totally agree. Eugene, I'll bet you could tell stories, because as I stop up there once in a while, and sometimes I sneak in without you being there. I'm just checking to see if you're doing your job, because, you know, Bob's put me in charge of that. But no, when I could just imagine, because I saw it when I was the school teacher, and you have kids who come in maybe from a family that's a little whatever, maybe not the perfect family, and a little restrained and worried, etc. And as they start coming in, you see them the first day. And then as they progress, you see a kid that just blossoms, okay, with their personality. I've seen you've probably seen hundreds of that.
Yes, we're doing, and every time that they have the opportunity, they talk with Bob and I say, how I can become like you. So that's a great gift.
Oh, not like Bob. You
no,
a problem.
No, they would say like president.
I would agree with that, by the way.
No, you know, like the position, like a president to be in charge, and that's because, you know, that they have a mind that what we are doing is good because we care about people, and we have the opportunity to speak with those, I'll say children, because they are very exciting since the beginning, because we have what we call that's warm welcome, because if they go to a classroom, we can tell where they belong. But a couple of days after, they are part of our office. Sometimes I said, Bob, you are spoiling those guys too much.
And he yells at me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, you know, and not because you're here, Gene. I think your demeanor, your personality, and the sincere, you're a true, sincere person. You're not a phony, okay? You didn't come here to be a phony and to take advantage of. You have done what you've said you've done, and Bob and his family has done that, okay? They have proven what they've said, and even though we've had some bumps in the road, okay, we still went forward. And I think when I see what you're doing, it filters down, you know, and all those kids are working there. I see all these kids and seniors and people working together. We don't have a perfect world yet,
No.
but we're working towards that. And here again, going back to Joe Madden, what's in it for Joe? Oh, he wants a Dominican baseball. I mean, see, right away, people start thinking all the things that, what the hell is Lesante doing with all the Hispanic stuff? Well, when I started the Hispanic news, I got all these negative things. But look, I know what it was with my grandfather coming here. The Italians were, looked upon. We were called guineas, wops, you name it. We were called everything under the book, okay? But we survived, and we were proud of what we did. Am I not right, Eugene?
No, you're right. And what I'd like to mention is that this center is for the whole family. Yeah. Every time that we have an event, we invite the parent with their kid, and all their kid invite their parents, and that is part any event, and also in the academic. So while a kid is taking, as I will say, the after-school program, parents are in the Rosetta Stone. Or maybe those who are in PAL, practicing basketball, their parents are taking ESL class. So they split the time in the same place.
Folks, I'm talking to Eugene Sosa and Bob Curry, involved with H.I.P, the Hazleton Integration Project. We come back, we'll give you a phone number, let you know how you can become involved. If anything, just go and stop and visit. They're always welcome to show you around. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. The Hazleton Integration Project, okay? You want to get involved. Well, listen to this. Listen what's happening now, folks, okay? And I'm going to give you a phone number to get involved. You sports lovers are going to love this, or anybody. It's great. So tell about the great things that are happening, Bob.
Okay, well, on Thursday, December 19th at 4 p.m. in our center at the Hazleton Lawn Community Center, we have Joe Madden, of course, will be there at the press conference, and so will Louis Tiant, the former great Yankee, Red Sox, and Cleveland Indian pitcher. And they'll be talking about the project and also talking baseball, because that's what they do. And then, of course, our big event is Friday evening at Genetti's. That's at 6 p.m. And there are still some tickets available for that. So you have different ways that you can reach us. You can reach us by phone, by the internet, by email. So, and that one is really going to be a big event. We have Larry Boa there, Yonel Escobar from the Rays, Louis Tiant, and it's topped off by the zany antics of the Philly Fanatic, who will also be joining us. So we have a big push this year for kids. We wanted more kids at the event, and this year we'll have well over 100 kids.
All right, here's the phone number, folks. You want to call this number to see, if you get some tickets or what's happening. It's 570-861-8081. And the website is the HazletonIntegrationProject.com. It's on your screen, folks, so you give them a phone call or go to the website. There's some tickets available for next Friday. It's going to be a great time. Here again, this is all bringing awareness to what's going on. Correct, Gene?
Yes. I just want to remind another event that we have at the Wilsey. That will be the 21st, which the whole family is invited. It's free.
And what's going on there?
It's like a talent show. Danny DeMalfin is in charge.
You want me to sing, don't you?
Well,
that's why we're here, Sam.
You want me to bring the Sam Lesante talent show. I had a talent show on Wolf TV many years, okay? Spotlight Talent Showcase, and so it's a talent show. Tell Danny I want a slot in there to sing.
Okay, so I will ask him to include you.
Now, you know what's going to happen? I just announced I'm singing. All the girls are going to be there. It's going to be,
okay, I know.
I'm not sure if you qualify. Are you still in high school or under? I'm not quite sure, because if you are, we're going to sign you up. But it is for kids. Our talent show is kids. Okay. And trust me, the talent was extraordinary. I think people are going to be surprised at the level of talent in the Hazleton area.
What time is it?
December 7, December 21st at 7 o'clock.
Saturday night.
Saturday, I will see. And also we will have Thanks Mass on Sunday in our center, starting 12:30, I think until 3 o'clock. Yeah.
And of course, folks, a lot of this stuff will be repeated on our local News 13. You'll be able to get all this information. We'll be covering that. So you have 1,500 people coming, and Eugene says a little bit more. You have all these programs going, okay, so if I want to get involved in learning a language or get involved with my kids, whatever, the opportunity is there, correct?
Yeah.
Just give me a call. I invite them to come to the center.
Yeah.
And I will give a tour, and they can see all the wonderful things that we do.
I found it quite interesting that very first day, and I've been in there a couple times since, and just to make sure you're doing your job. Like I said, Bob's paying me to make sure that you're doing your job. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
No, you're very welcome. Don't spend all that in one place, though. You spread it around a little bit, Sam.
Of course, yeah. Anything in closing, Bob?
We just want to say that our thanks, Miss. This is the 8th year that Joe has been involved with that, and our 3rd year. Thanks, Miss is, once again, for economically disadvantaged citizens. We work with Catholic Social Services. We work with the Salvation Army, inviting people who may be just a little down on their luck for a really high-quality ethnic meal honoring the ethnicities of Joe Madden and our community. So it's Italian food, Polish food, and Dominican and Hispanic foods. And that is in our center, and that's 12:30 to 3 p.m. on Sunday, the 22nd.
And once again, folks, you can call for all this information to get involved. And here again, folks, don't be shy. Don't be shy. This is for you know, your children, for and have them enjoy it. You know, we have these opportunities available to you. These people work very hard to put it together. Eugene, Bob, your board, and all the volunteers who are working up there. I mean, they do a great job. Really, they do a great job. Well, as they say, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad y un próspero año nuevo.
That means, and have a prosperous New Year. See, you think I don't understand this.
I know that. I know that.
I should have listened to my grandfather. He spoke to me in Italian. I spoke to him in English. What a mistake I made.
Exactly.
Because Italian and Spanish are a little bit together to a degree.
They are.
Bob, always nice seeing you.
Thank you so much once again for
Give
having
my
me.
best to Joe Madden. Tell him I'm sorry. I gave him some advice this year. He didn't listen to all of it. He would have made the World Series.
He was good until the playoffs, but that's when he stopped listening to you, and you saw what happened.
I call him. He
saw what happened.
That's what happened. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Folks, it's the Hazleton Integration Project. The phone number 570-861-8081. Isn't this great, folks, to have these positive things happening in our community? Let's think positive. I understand we have some concerns. We're addressing those concerns, but let's be positive, folks. This is just a fabulous thing, and if you don't believe me, stop and see it. We'll see you next time.